Japan's samurai are drenched in honor, strategy, and myth. From the swordsman to the terrible yokai, we meet the samurai and Shuten-Doji, two sides of culture where Bushido and folklore meet.
Hi, welcome to Mythology. My name is Josh, and this is a channel just about drawing mythology, religion, and characters of lore and inking them, So if you're an artist, that's rad. I'm glad that you're here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and join my Discord and some other ways of communicating with me through Instagram and things, and we'll have some fun. But I'd love to see your art. And yeah, so today we're going to be doing one of my favorite themes, and that's Japanese lore, samurai, ninjas, the kami, the yokai, right, the gods, all very cool and fun. So today I'm going to be doing a samurai, kind of with a mix of a kami vibe and the spiritual realm going around it. I really want to just be creative today and explore doodling with just some fun and techniques. So if you have some pens or paper and pencils and tools, you know what I mean, grab them. Let's get started and yeah, let's start drawing.
The term samurai originally simply meant one who serves, and only over time came to be designated to the warrior class. By the late 8th to 10th century, Japan's central government began to rely less on conscripted troops and more on the warrior families and the private estates of the maintained order. As land-owning stewards, shogun, grew, so did the power of those who governed them. These retainer warriors evolved into what we recognize as samurai. Their loyal families intertwined with their lords, the daimyo and the shogun. By the Kamakura period, which is 1185 and onward, the samurai were the de facto rulers of Japan. During the 13th century Mongol invasion, samurai defended Japan with a fierce resolve, so strong that a typhoon famously aided their defense, later called the kamikaze, divine wind. In subsequent Sengoku era, the warring states, which was around 15th to the 16th century, Japan saw near constant warfare. The samurai class rose dramatically in importance and in danger. Eventually, in the Edo period, which is 1603 to 1868, peace transformed the samurai. Bureaucrats, scholars, and swordsmen at once. Then in the Meiji Restoration, 1868 and on, the class dissolved, swords were banned, stipends converted, and the old warrior path transformed and ended. An entire culture and way of living just began to deteriorate due to new laws and rules in Japan. For example, carrying two swords or having your hair in a specific bun style, like the samurai, would be rejected and caused to be illegal. But one cool thing happened. A foreigner, Yasuke, an African man, became a samurai in the service of Oda Nobunaga during the Sengoku period. Now that's pretty rad. Now, samurai weren't just warriors, they were cultural icons. The ideals of Bushido, the way of the warrior, emphasized loyalty, honor, mastery, and both sword and self. By the Muromachi and Edo periods, many samurai became patrons of the arts. Tea ceremony, which is chanoyu, and no theater, calligraphy, and even philosophical study of Confucianism. Women of samurai families sometimes trained in naginata or kaiken to defend the home when the husband went off to battle. But perhaps the most compelling link between the samurai and the supernatural is the fearlessness in the face of death. We all know that samurai are extremely honorable, but they often spurred by the Zen Buddhism that spread among the warrior families in the 13th century. Death was not defeat, it was part of the warrior's path. As much as the samurai walked in the physical path of the sword, Japanese culture also walked in the invisible path of the spirits and monsters, kami and yokai. The world of yokai, oni, and the supernatural forces were always near and around, especially in the wild places beyond the capital. One of the most enduring legends is that of Shuten-Doji, an oni so fearsome that even emperors sent samurai to deal with him. Shuten-Doji is a legendary oni, a demon leader of Japanese folklore. He is said to have had his lair at Mount Oe, northwest of Kyoto, though some versions place him on Mount Ibuki. The oldest surviving account comes from the 14th century picture scroll called the Oyama Ekotoba. According to legend, Shuten-Doji kidnapped noble women, terrorized the countryside, hosted drunken feasts of sake mixed with blood, and caused fear in Kyoto. Quite the party guy. Eventually, the emperor summoned the hero Minamoto no Raiko, in whom I am drawing here in my own interpretation. He's also known by the name Minamoto no Yorimitsu. Raiko and his band of men went to destroy Shuten-Doji. But Raiko and his retainers, disguised themselves as monks, traveled to Shuten-Doji's fortress and offered him poisoned sake. And how Raiko and his men decided to dress up as, Yamabushi priests is by encountering 4 men who turned out to be 4 deities who told them what to do. The men found an old kidnapped woman doing laundry by the river and asked what had happened, and she explained that they'd been kidnapping young maidens and making them forced to be maidservants, as well as drinking their blood and eating their flesh and all these terrible things this ogre would do. Even after his head was severed, it lunged at Raiko's helmet before finally being subdued. And of course not before it lunged and tried to take a bite out of Raiko. But Raiko was wearing multiple helmets, so he was protected. Now, that's the power of alcohol if I've ever seen it. And one of Raiko's men was Watanabe no Suna, who later became known for slaying other oni and whose name became associated with warding off demons. Now, that's pretty cool. But what connected the samurai and Shuten-Doji? 2 realms converged. The samurai defended not only the political order, but the spiritual order. Their battles often symbolized the fights between civilization and chaos, human and beast, mortal and the monstrous. In the Shuten-Doji's legend, we see the hero's sword, clever strategy, like disguise and poison, and the moral clarity conquering the monstrous. Much like the samurai narratives told of lords, retainers, loyalty, duty, and courage. Furthermore, these stories reinforce the social order, the ruling class overcoming rebel forces, whether human or supernatural. The legacy of the 2 threads live on. The samurai appear in movies, anime, games, and art. Their swords, their code, their honor survive in popular culture. And likewise, the yokai such as Shuten-Doji appear in folklore, comic books, horror films, and even tourist traditions of Japan. His name still evokes terror and fascination. Eventually, the samurai class will be legally dissolved by 1876, and this effect would change Japan's culture tremendously. Now, Shuten-Doji's name actually means sake drinking child, reflecting his monstrous indulgence and maybe mocking human frailty, or he just acts like a child. If you ever make it to Japan, definitely try to visit Kyoto and the surrounding mountains, as they claim to still have his host of legend and some shrine rituals symbolically warding off the spirit. Now, Shuten-Doji is just one of the many oni and kami and yokai presented in the lore of Japan. And of course, Raiko is not just the only samurai who did awesome things. So if you want to learn more, definitely explore Japan's amazing and very potent mythology. And if you enjoyed this video, enjoyed listening and watching me draw, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That will definitely help me out. That'd be really cool. Hit that notification button too for when my next video comes out. And you can join me on Discord and other platforms to chat and hang out and share art. That'd be amazing. So whether you are drawn to the honorable and mysterious discipline of the samurai or the chilling whisper of the yokai in the forest, Japan's warrior and monster legacy has something for everyone. From sword to spirit, from oath to omen, Japan radiates with lore and mythology. My fellow artists and warriors, we come to an end of this drawing of Shuten-Doji and the amazing samurai Minamoto no Raiko. Stay tuned for next Tuesday when I release the full video of this drawing process, which is a couple of hours of footage, so you can really see how I developed it. And until next time, if you're creative, go create.
Yo!